Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving deep into one of the most controversial diet trends making waves right now. It's called the sugar diet. You might have heard of it from guys like Cole Robinson or Mark Bell, who've been talking a lot about it on YouTube and how they use sugar to lose weight. And yes, you heard that right. It sounds crazy, but they use sugar to lose weight. But today we're going to break down what this diet is all about, including what the science actually says. But before we do this, we are about to hit 7,000 subscribers with over 600,000 views. That's absolutely crazy to me. It means so much to me. If you really want to help the channel, hit the like button, hit the little bell thing, but above all, please comment. I read them all and I try to reply to as many as I can. I 100% appreciate the support. Thank you so much. So, what exactly is the sugar diet? The core idea behind the sugar diet, as described by its proponents, is primarily focusing on consuming sugar in the absence of fat and protein. It's a radical weight loss protocol, to say the least. And when they talk about sugar, they're mainly referring to fruit sugar like sucrose and fructose. This means foods like fruit, especially high water content, fruit juice, honey, jam, and vegetables, which are often included for volume and some sugar and carbs. Some variations, like the one Mark Bell discusses, might even include table sugar or candies like Sour Patch Kids, my favorite, jelly beans, or cereal, sometimes sparingly, as long as they are very low in fat. Crucially, the emphasis is on keeping fat intake extremely low, under 30 grams daily, according to Bell, and protein intake modest or very low, especially when you're starting the sugar diet or when trying to lose a lot of weight quickly. Cole Robinson refers to trace protein from fruit, but essentially zero fat and next to no protein during intense sugar fasting phases. So why do these guys claim that the sugar diet works? This is where it gets interesting and goes against, as you might imagine, a lot of mainstream diet advice. First of all, they claim that it's a metabolic turbocharge. The claim specifically is that feeding the body sugar makes your metabolism, quote, rev up. Mark Bell suggests this is possibly related to a hormone called FGF21, and scientific research does confirm that sugar consumption, particularly fructose, increases FGF21 levels in the body, and this hormone is involved in regulating metabolism. However, it's worth noting that the relationship is complex. Studies show elevated FGF21 levels in obesity, suggesting potential resistance to its effects, similar to insulin resistance. Number 2 claim, avoiding the fat-carb combo. A key principle highlighted is that combining fats and carbohydrates is the fastest way to get fat, according to these guys, especially when calories are in excess, obviously. By severely limiting fat while consuming carbs, like sugar, basically, entirely sugar, the body is supposedly forced to burn through the incoming sugar and tap into stored body fat because the primary fat source or dietary fat is removed. Number 3, high energy levels. These guys, the proponents of the sugar diet, report crazy, insane energy on this diet. You get high energy levels despite the low fat and low protein, and Mark Bell notes his energy levels feel really awesome. Number 4, improved insulin sensitivity. Mark Bell believes the sugar diet can help train your body to improve insulin sensitivity, making it better able to handle carbohydrates over time. He notes that for those who have been low carb for a long time, they might have made themselves insulin resistant. Research, of course, is mixed on this point. While high sugar intake typically worsens insulin resistance, the weight loss from the diet could potentially improve insulin sensitivity. Studies show that physiological insulin resistance can occur on very low carb diets, so reintroducing carbs may have benefits for some individuals. Number 5, it's about weight loss. Ultimately, the sugar diet, their major claim to fame is simply that losing weight, regardless of the method, provides significant health benefits. This diet is presented as a highly effective tool for achieving that primary goal. Scientific research, of course, does support that calorie balance, not necessarily macronutrient composition, is the primary driver of weight loss. So, what do you eat and what do you not eat on the sugar diet? Let's address first what is primarily included on the sugar diet to engender this rapid weight loss phase. Number one, fruit, all kinds, especially high water content fruit. So this is berries, bananas, oranges, apples, dates, and watermelon. Fruit juices like apple, orange, pineapple juice, and other wet fruit juices. And pure sugars, honey, jam, maple syrup, sometimes even table sugar or low-fat candies. And vegetables, which are included for volume and nutrients. These are vegetables like canned tomatoes, canned beets, arugula, fermented vegetables, carrots, onions, and celery, and salt to some extent if you crave it, although it's less needed. So what's excluded on the sugar diet, especially when you're starting out or during intense sugar fasting? Fat. Fat is severely restricted or eliminated altogether. This means avoiding fatty meats, butter, oils, cheese, high-fat sauces, and high-fat packaged foods. Also really limited is high protein. Protein intake is kept modest or very low. Often starch is cut out initially until your weight comes down to the level that you're looking for. Foods like excessive bananas, potatoes or rice, obviously these are verboten. Some proponents of the sugar diet reintroduce these starch items once they're lean, and sometimes they'll incorporate it with the lean protein meals that they're doing. And obviously the biggest no-no is high-fat, high-carb combos. So foods like donuts, cookies, pizza, pasta with fatty sauces, meatballs, and cheese. They're seen as problematic because they combine the two things believed to cause weight gain by the sugar diet proponents. So ice cream is also on that list, unfortunately. I love ice cream. Foods you can add back in once you're lean, according to the sugar diet people. Well, lean meat can be introduced in moderation after your severe cutting phases. The kind of sources they mention are typically 99% lean ground turkey, lean beef, scallops, shrimp, chicken breast, egg whites, that kind of stuff. Starches, as I mentioned, can be reintroduced once and consumed in moderation. So what does the sugar diet claim to achieve? The claims are pretty bold, but let's examine them alongside what the scientific research suggests. Radical weight loss, of course, is the number one benefit. Cole Robinson specifically claims you can lose 100 pounds in 100 days, or even more for, quote, super fatties, as he calls them. The goal is to, quote, get skinny as an Ethiopian. Scientific analysis suggests that this pace of 1 pound per day is extreme and potentially unsustainable. It probably involves rapid water loss, muscle loss, that kind of stuff, not just fat loss, and most nutrition experts would consider this rate potentially unsafe. This is, of course, billed as a way to get ripped and shredded very quickly and to achieve that very lean physique. Another benefit it claims is this metabolic reset. As I mentioned, the diet is claimed to, quote, unfuck your metabolism and get it revved up. While FGF21 is indeed linked to metabolic regulation, the research suggests a more complex picture than simply revving up metabolism through sugar. Cole Robinson also claims that the sugar diet can reverse health issues. He claims that sugar in the absence of fat can reverse almost every health issue, listing hemorrhoids, PCOS, fibroids, tumors, gallstones, and kidney stones. He also states it reverses type 2 diabetes. Not sure how that works. Of course, research analysis indicates these claims, they lack robust scientific support, to put it politely, and are controversial. While fasting and weight loss can improve diabetes markers, the high sugar intake, I think we all know that's not very good for diabetes. Probably the only claim that can't be scientifically debunked in the sugar diet is that it's cost effective. We all know it's cheaper to buy sugar and fruit and candy than it is to buy meat. So there you go. It is a cost-effective diet, the sugar diet. One thing to note is the difference between refined sugar and fruit sugar. While the diet emphasizes fruit sugar, the inclusion of things like table sugar and candy, well, they've raised questions about the health implications beyond just weight loss, such as dental health. Research consistently shows risk to dental health from high sugar consumption. Another thing to note is that individual results may vary. Mark Bell, who is trying this diet and has been very public about it on his YouTube channel, he's made his last few videos entirely about it after he had Cole Robinson on and Cole convinced him. He's open about using performance-enhancing drugs, and PEDs would obviously significantly impact his results compared to a natural individual. Another thing to keep in mind is that compliance and triggers vary by person. The diet may be difficult for individuals with a history of disordered eating, or for those who find sugar and carbs act as triggers for overeating. So the restrictive nature could potentially trigger unhealthy eating patterns in individuals who are susceptible to these type of triggers. On the more colorful side, Cole Robinson is highly critical of low carb and carnivore diets, calling proponents of those diets fat pigs and idiots who are in Stall City. He labels them a fat acceptance movement and rip-off artists. Mark Bell, while trying the sugar diet, acknowledges the effectiveness of the previous methods he used, such as keto and carnivore, for losing over 100 pounds in his case. So take Cole Robinson with a grain of salt or sugar. So putting it all together, the sugar diet, as presented by Cole Robinson and explored by Mark Bell, is a highly unconventional, low-fat, low-protein, high-sugar approach that claims to facilitate extremely rapid weight loss, reset metabolism, and provide high energy. It's positioned as a direct alternative to low-carb and carnivore diets, which are heavily criticized by its proponents. I have a couple friends who have been doing the sugar diet for bordering on a couple months now, and they will not shut up about how effective it is for them, which is what prompted me to look into this diet. So anecdotally, for some people, this appears to work, but scientific analysis confirms that some aspects of the diet's mechanisms, yes, sugar does increase FGF21 levels, and yes, weight loss can improve various health markers regardless of the method. But the research also suggests that the extreme claims about reversing numerous health conditions lack almost any scientific backing. And obviously the potential for nutritional deficiencies from the severe fat and protein restriction, that's a huge concern. So while proponents like Mark Bell and my friends are reporting success, it's an extreme dietary strategy that comes with potential nutritional considerations and challenges. I don't think I need to say that you should absolutely be working with a qualified physician before attempting something so radical. But what are your thoughts? Have you heard of the sugar diet? Have you tried it? Have your friends tried it? I'd love to hear in the comments what you think of it. I'm tempted to try it myself. I don't really need it right now. I've been on retatrutide for a couple months and I've lost 25 pounds now. So the last thing I need is to lose more weight. I need to be putting it back on. But this really struck me as something I wanted to cover. So yeah, let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching. Until next time.